Good time zone. It's me, DjDoubleT, here and existing with our regularly scheduled program. But when I'm not skipping this week, because sometimes I end up doing other things on these days. But it's good to have time just to do it, get there for it, and get it done. And thank you, Stream Elements, for telling me that that's my thing right now. But I do need to fix you up at some point. Today, I have a lot of things for my regular routine to get done. Mainly read, do maybe a therapy journal, but also today I need to finish crafting something for Cult of the Lamb tomorrow. And, well, I've just found out that tomorrow's gonna be really jam-packed. I have to make like phone calls for some job stuff, just to be like, hey, have you seen my application? To probably playing Cult of the Lamb super early in the morning. Which, when I say super early, I mean like 9 a.m. Like, I'm gonna wake up like, oh yeah, 6 a.m. at my time. That way whack, but so we have Cult of the Lamb, the new TFT set that's coming out tomorrow, which I'm super excited for. I wanted to play it, and I just I said, I'm not gonna experience some PvP because as much as I have a PvP account, I have to like do it when it comes out because that's when I feel like it's gonna be real, and I feel like I'm gonna play with my friend. Chaos and I's thing is no longer Thursday just because there was a random thing that happened, and so that's gonna be shoved into tomorrow. I need to get back into Hard to make a romantic cartoon, so tomorrow is going to be a compilation of a bunch of different things. I am debating whether or not to like space it out properly, or should I just have like a hey, we're taking a break, and this is gonna be like a 12-hour long stream. Or more, basically, because it's gonna be past that at some point. But I want to get this book done as soon as possible. I told myself that I was gonna read it like yesterday while I was heading out, but I ended up getting sidetracked and got lost and got a few like little knickknacks and stuffs. When I really shouldn't be, but sometimes in life, you go and visit places that you just see around. There's been like the store where I live, and I think I just stared at it. I maybe might have walked in once, but never actually like looked at it, because I knew everything was gonna be really expensive. But although I'm no longer a student, this is the place that I used to go to. I was like, here's my student ID. They're like, okay, yeah, we can give you a discount. And I'm like, yeah, discounts. Discounts are always nice. But yeah, that's my quickly recap. Even though it's just me. Some days, that's just how it is. Alright, let's get this done. I hope everybody else is doing well. I still find it funny with this lighting, like, the hair just looks like... it looks orange, but it's not. Also, it's not this way. This way. Let me, like, fix this. Let me make it, like, just straight flowing. Oh, I hate that. See, there's a certain way I wear my hair, and if I don't, I just don't like it. Definitely just swoosh it to the right side. Make it right-handed. Oh, it's gotten worse. Alright, let me fix this. Oh god. Fixing it by floof. Is it right way? No, it's left. It's still left. Oh. Oof. I also woke up with heavy bedhead because today hasn't been a productive day. I legitimately told myself, we're gonna be productive today. Falls asleep, wakes up, and I feel good. But I could sleep a little bit more. Then I end up sleeping a little bit more. At some point, I just feel like I need to trust my body and just like get up. Cause I don't wanna fight your shadow. Ugh. Probably have to get another chat with me because I think one thing that I enjoy about being a streamer in general is just like get to talk with people. And I guess not many people do want to talk about their days and whatnot. Or maybe it's just really hard to have a conversation at times. But I just like being here, just in case somebody one day decides to stop by me and my little tiny humble existence, and that's the thing. It does happen every now and then, but it's also my time zone, and the time I stream is at a really late time. Not for many English speakers at this point. It's either way too early for them, or it's just starting, or way too late. I forgot how bright this is. I wish it was like a dark mode for better help. Wow, what happened in 5th? Today is, it's not even May. I'm like, when did I time travel? March, not K March. Oop. Well, that's very much said. I'm gonna wash my hand after crushing. All I do was took that bug. Didn't realize I was gonna crush its guts all over the place. Excuse me for that very gross description, but you're welcome. You know, growing up, I definitely just like did not like bugs. At least the ones that, you know, the gross ones, or the ones that we deem like not cute and adorable. But even then, I wasn't much for like flying bugs either. Although moths are a different interesting take. Like, they're fuzzy, but but there's always something about like roly-polies and like ladybugs. I have seen many different ladybugs in my time. I've actually seen a blue one. I've seen a blue one. I've seen one that looks like a toasted red marshmallow. Well, not that roasted red bottom, but it looks like a roasted marshmallow coloring. Definitely seen the common orange, the red. What other colors I've seen? That makes me want to actually do that again, like hunt for ladybugs. Cause that was a time. Spark. Gotta finish writing this. Then we're gonna do a little bit of like a poetry quick writing because I need that. And then reading, crafting. Nappy, why? Why you do this? Why you do this to me? Why you? At this point, I also might have to add like a reminder of like Duolingo's coming for you. Which I've already done Duolingo when you reminded me, but yeah. Also full again. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do cartwheels at some point. But you also reminded me I also need to make my gross green drink that I have to drink. Also, I feel weaker today. I don't know why. My arms are feeling canoodly. Give me 1 second, Abby. I'll be right back. How are you doing? What are you up to? Oh, you're carrying ramen food, or are we talking about just soup? Pho? We talking about bún bò Huế? We talking about cơm tam, canh chua? Sorry, I'm sending all the Vietnamese dishes. All of the above. What's like some like cold noodle soup? Although some people don't think cold soups are that good. Oh, and Namps, I want to let you know because you're usually here and whatnot. Thursday, so tomorrow's gonna be super busy. I'm gonna be most likely streaming for most of the day. There will be breakpoints. I would love to keep everything separate, but if I'm too lazy, I might just scrunch everything. So we're gonna start probably like at 9 a.m. if I can wake up for 4 hours or 3 to 4 hours of Cult of the Lamb. Sune will finally make an appearance. Take an hour or two break for me to do what's the word? No, I can't do a 24-hour stream. Remember, internet dies for like 2 hours in the day, like around, because we had daylight savings 3 to 5 a.m. My time. So we'll be taking like a break from there, and then the new TFT set comes out. I'm super excited to play it. Chaos has a work thing on Thursday, so we're moving our usual stream from on Thursday to Wednesday. Usually move it to Friday, but things have been switched around. And then after that is our dating sim game, which is hard to make a romantic cartoon. Probably take a small break because, you know, Wednesday is a weird like 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. thing, and we'll see how exhausted I feel. Well, we're gonna power through. We're gonna do our best. I'm excited, and if I can say anything, I feel like I've beaten my depression for a while. Like, things have happened, things have fallen in place. TMI, I guess, is like I've been single for a year now, and that's something. And I'm not saying that the depression won't come back or anything like that, but it's like I've conquered it for a bit. We're on like a good point rather than like a downward spiral, because I know that like this past year I've been kind of holding it together. Like I'll go down, I'll go up, go down, go up. But it feels like a good moment, yeah. Yeah, hey, listen. A year, one thing I don't get sometimes, like how people are able to like, move on so quickly from relationships, because like for me, I feel like it takes me a long time to move on from anything that's been a long thing, or or I think it's just my personality, is that like it's really hard for me to move on from things that change, and it takes me a while to fully like process it and let it be. I mean, I've only been single, well, technically I've been single for most of my life. It's kind of like anybody, but I've only been in 2 relationships my whole life. One that lasted for a month, and one lasted for almost 3 years. But the long-term one hit harder, because it's like you've spent so much time with that person, and then things change. I guess to be vulnerable about it, it's like when it all shifted, it was a rediscovery point of like being happy with myself alone, and I'm at that it's like everything clicked into place of like snap, like, well, you know what, being single has been nice. I can eat what I want to eat, I can do what I want, and that You really gotta love yourself. Something that even though I may not be close to my family about, or, you know, my mother, for example, is that like one thing that she struggled really hard with was like, you have to put yourself first. Because if you don't, no one else will. Also, that's also what my therapist said. Because you can give out all so much to everybody, but if you don't have enough for yourself to like sustain and be happy, or just you're going to become bitter because not everybody will give back. Not everybody will put you first as well. So very few people will do that. And it's a sad truth. And there's always the saying of like, at the end of the day, you die alone. And that sounds so dark and scary. But I mean, also, if you build the right network, people will always be there. It's just, who will? And I think that's also like a hard lesson that I've learned throughout is like, if you choose to give, you cannot think about expecting things to be given back. It's because you chose that way. And many people will fall into bitterness and despair because of that. And I won't say that that hasn't happened to me, but I've come to a better understanding about it. Where at the end, when I chose to give, and then being angry about it, being bitter about it now, doesn't do anything. All it does is make the effects of not being whole upsetting. And it's like, you're digging your own hole. Because you can continue to point the fingers, you can blame everybody, but it's really tough about how do you move forward from there? Do you want to continue digging? You can end up in the other side of the world if you want, but or you can end up in the center and demise.
Liftoff of mission 41B, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
But yes, forgive my rambling.
Discovery's core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Congrats, Nampy. Congrats. Oh, Nampy, I also wanted to mention that I contacted one of my other friends recently. I might have her also help out with emotes, specifically because she has an art style for like doodles. And I think that would be very helpful. Yeah. I just needed to make money to pay her, you know? Yeah. And at some point, Nappy, I do need to like be able to pay you as well. Even though I know you said that you'll do it for like for free because friendship, but it's not that I feel bad, but it's more of like in the future if you want to do your own work, you know, you gotta value the people around you, whether it is like financially or just in general. The power of friendship can only pay so far.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Understandable. Also, when you start commissions, it's also like once you start commissions, then it's like a balance of you actually have to get the work done in like a timely manner, and you also got to think about how much time you're putting in the work for it, and then how much you want to get paid for it. I'm trying to hide this like ducky t-shirt, but it keeps popping out. It's like ducks. Which reminds me, these are the sweaters this is the sweater with like little finger holes. I didn't know they had like thumb slits, and it's made me so happy for no apparent reason. Now I kind of want to get a sweater where it has like those finger gloves, so you got little paws. Not really. My friend still has the thing to take me along for an adventure of clothing, because they were like, you know, that no, that doesn't work. But it's funny because I talked to Mari about like the outfit that I wore that day, and Mari's like, even though you have clashing things, you're able to still pull it off. And I feel like a lot of things, if people don't talk to you about like the clothes you wear, like are able to like see you in person and hear what you're like, they're like, they can just judge you off appearance instantly. But if you show it up and like don't act, well, you act with confidence, you're able to pull it off. Like confidence is like part of your clothing. Like how do you wear it, not how does the clothes wear you. But there's also the fact that like you won't see me in a skirt commonly. I would only do that for like a costuming situation. But personally, I am not comfortable in a skirt. It's too airy. I'm like, no, I need pants. Pants are comfy. Or in general, I just don't like flowy clothing. Capes are fine though. Capes are like a different thing because like I'm not wearing. No, I'm good. I'm good, Nymphs. No airing. I need to fix like this chat box. I feel like the font is too small. Where is the font? Font size? Ah. No spring cleaning. I'm good. I think one thing I really need to figure out though is like living situation. Alright, but I also need to also think about writing out my week for Thursday, because Thursday is gonna be a really free day. I definitely will still stream something at some point because there's a scheduled thing without chaos, but I need to think about finally getting my trailer out there. Yeah, I need to get my. I just remembered. Maybe I'll play Just Dance that day, because it's an earlier day. I can do some dancing, and then I can also practice some choreos that I want to do. Because see, last week I filmed a choreo for a song, and I did not like how it turned out. I looked at myself and I was like, "You're so stiff. What happened to like boogieing the shoulders?" Like, I danced that song without, like, I was a stick in a bottle, we'll say. Even though that's not even the right word. I want to be a bit more confident when it comes out. Gotta move like water. Oh gosh. Nambi, do I actually drink water or do I drink the green drink that's sitting in front of me? Okay, I drink actual water. All the other things just water, but a mixture of like vitamins, antioxidants, and like other things. Like some mushrooms, something green, something. you know, what's funny is that I also got like these pants in like high school because I was on the volleyball team, and like my coach decided to like steal, well, not necessarily steal, but like got a raffle into like this container that had like a bunch of like equipment for like sports, and he was like, "Here's all this." Set this camera up a bit. I think that's fine. Stretch. Can't see me. Something that people are like amazed by is the fact that I have good balance for some reason, and I'm like, I don't really have that good of balance. Well, I think I used to have better because my muscles used to be stronger and all that, but that's besides the point. Because I could definitely balance on one foot and like do a like squat or crouch. It's not that difficult. I look at people with like bad balance and I wonder why. Okay, a little too high, a little lower. There we go. I blame the fact that as a kid, I would play a lot of hopscotch. Like I would make extreme hopscotch a thing, where like, you know, we get chalk, we draw like hopscotch, but like instead of just a regular hopscotch board, we draw a bunch of squares, some like lines to follow. I played a lot of like childish games as a kid because being a kid where like you're not buying a bunch of toys because space, money, and like wasting Asian things, that like you make do with whatever game you can create and think of. A bit of imagination. I think that's also something that I always talk about like growing up, is that like I mean also with depression, like a lot of my creativity imagination died out for the time because everything felt and something that like I want to be in touch with even as an adult is the ability to one laugh, but also the ability to create, whether it's something really silly or dumb. And I do want to work with other people in the future, maybe with like to make other things, because my repertoire currently right now is like editing does not exist. What is editing? I don't like watching videos of myself because I'm like, ew, it's you. Oh, I see. I think you're growing up watching a lot of PBS kids. Like I saw like kids being like dig into the dirt and creating like pour water and make like marble runs. I wasn't allowed to do that as a kid because my mom would not let me play in the dirt. Definitely like a clean freak kind of person, and like it really restricted some of the things I could do, and I just had to like power through with it. At some point, you also need to fix my camera. It's like stop auto-focusing. Every time it autofocuses, like it makes the background like shake and move, and it makes people scared. Especially when I'm like on the smaller DJ side, because you know gotta have the actual game being seen and visualized. And now I forgot what I wanted to create for that poem. Ah well, reading it is then. Gotta continue with life sucks. Have to deal with the way life is. Words should always really be unfair. I would daydream way too often in class. Was so evil or still are so evil. That's the bigger question, Nappy. You say that every time you say arson? I don't know, Nappy. Are you sure about that? Well, you've also yet to join my cult. You know, for a cult of lamb, gotta be a follower, gotta work. It's not even my cult, it's Suna's cult, but you know what I mean, the same thing. Wait, Nampa, do you not have any more work to do tonight? Is it just you're up to be here and snacks? Just chilling? Why not get it done now so you don't have to do it later? Or is it the inner procrastinator saboteur already out in there? Also, Nappy, I like how this duck here is just trying to stick out like quack. Pato? 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 What is Pato? Patito? Patito? What is Patito? Oh. Did not know that. Imagine me just going out there saying patito, and then I get laughed at. It's like that's not the word. It's not even real. Ah, gato, gatito. Also, Nampy, if you do tune in tomorrow, you'll probably also see the gift that I got for Chaos. Because I got a gift for Chaos and two of my friends, because like I said that I was exploring yesterday, and then I went into the shop, and then something caught my eye, and I was like, I don't have money for this, but I'm gonna get them, and yeah. My vision may not be what it used to be, but I can still read without glasses. I don't even feel that like I look that different with glasses or not. I used to have good vision, and then I started staying up way too late doing too many things, and then slowly my vision starts to blur. But I also feel like the reason is because I lost sight of a lot of the things that I wanted to do and who I was as a person. And I feel like that's the representation of like why I can't see as well as I used to. Hey Nappy, I was thinking about something. You know, like I've played mini games, and then I've also asked you about like making emotes for each game, potentially at some point. And I was thinking, does it have to be games I completed, or just games I played so far? Because there are games that I've played. Wait, what do I mean by too many games? I mean, man, I've played a lot of games. I guess it could be too many. But then, are you sure? Because if it's too many, imagine me make an emote for all of them right now, and they're due tomorrow. That'd be way too many. Alright, Nappy. I'll make sure to create designs for them as like I look them up again and see which games I've made. I won't include games that I haven't finished yet. I will probably include games that are like they'll never end, like TFT, League, Minecraft. Those are games that never end exactly. but it's also if I have like a design idea for them. Right, there's that soul one with food. What can I do for that as representation of that? But Nappy, if you're in space, you'll be frozen and you'll be dead. I don't think you can do work while frozen and dead. But then you'll be burnt to a crisp. What games are sacred to me? Ooh, that's like an interesting question, Stuffies. If I were to talk about something growing up, two games that like instantly pop into my mind that are like super important to me and my upbringing would be for sure Ratchet and Clank. Specifically the original Ratchet and Clank and Going Commando. And then back when video games and movies were made into a thing, like for example, the movie Over the Hedge, when that became a video game, I have talked about it, and like it's so much fun playing as an animal trying to survive an exterminator and like beating up the mind controlled animals with like these mind controlled like little gadgets and smacking them off their heads so that they're back to normal. That was a good time. But what else? What else was like super important to me? You know, I did not have an N64 as a kid. Actually, like years later, after like I made friends in the neighborhood, I had a friend who like had like a gaming family basically, and so like everybody in their family played video games, and so they had like the N64, the NES, like the GameCube, the original PlayStation, basically every generation of device pretty much. And I gotta play like a lot of the older games. I will not understand the hype against Melee, mainly because I started off with like Smash Bros. Brawl, and so there's that. So, But it was really fun playing like Super Monkey Ball with them as well. I don't know, there's something about being in a ball, running and going down hills that's like that hits that kind of game genre for me. Because I am pretty picky when it comes to games. Like, there are certain things that I like gameplay-wise that make me super happy. But then... It's like, I have to have something that... There's like something that is different from other games. Even if they might be a little bit similar still. That make me interested enough in it. What about you, Stuffies? What about you? What games are sacred to you? Oh, I remember one time, I didn't have a great GameCube growing up as a kid, but I played with a friend who had like Mario Party for like the GameCube. Something about Mario Party GameCube hits, and no one can tell me otherwise. Also, I'll still be talking and all that. I might go quiet because I'm like, I want to read this one section before I start talking more because multitasking is not a thing for me. Half-Life 1. Okay. I've heard of Half-Life, but I don't know much about it. Do you care to explain, or do you want me to like search it up and just research and be like, here, I don't want to tell you all of this about this game that's important to me. Read it. You know, what's the word? You uncultured swine. Also, Navi, what about you? I mean, you play games. Are there any games that are like sacred and important to you? Really? Nothing? Nothing that's like a game that I like is just randomly important. I won't lie though, some of the educational games that I had growing up as a kid, like Oregon Trail or Putt Putt Travels Through Time, those are randomly important. Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of things that I don't play or know about, and people are like, "You don't know that?" I'm like, I'm in my own little bubble. You can like transfer your beam, your little small bubbles to make my bubble even larger and make it more knowledgeable. But there's only so much one person can know and keep track of. It's also kind of like how I feel about certain video games nowadays. Like with Honkai Star Rail, I like it, but I don't think I'll keep track of all the news that happens with it. Because I used to do that for a lot of the games I care for, and right now my time is just having fun with the game and doing other things. Spoons? Also, Navi, what do you mean spoons? You mean like spoon as like the game? Or are we talking about spoons as in edible spoons? Or is there actually like a video game spoons? Alright, I need to look up Half-Life 1 and I also need to look up the spoons game. Like this, the video game. I like how there's Spoon Simulator. Okay, okay, so we're talking about the card game with like the 4 cards and that. Okay, just wanted to make sure. I know, but that's kind of what's nice about life is that you can have these bubbles merge for a little bit and then separate because you can transfer knowledge to people. Alright. Huh. Interesting. I see. You're just floating there with your face like at the bubble, like and just smushed on like your bubble, like close enough where it isn't gonna pop it, and you're staring at other people like, that's your bubble. But just don't be creepy about it, you know? You can admire from a distance, but just don't like stare for too long that it creates the feeling of like somebody's watching you and it's like not a fun feeling. You know what's funny is that I always got that like feeling as a kid. Nowadays, like I don't feel like people are watching me. Maybe it's because I'm a streamer. Like people are watching you, but you know, they're not gonna go through your screen and like choke you out. Unless they have like some weird power to like travel through technology, which would be a cool power, but also I feel like it'd be so easy to get lost because the intrawebs is a long, arduous place. Mini farm? Is that the one where you can have like a little thing on your desktop while like you're doing work? There can be like a little video game just floating around, or is that something else? Something really random is that, you know, people like do like really cool bubble tricks. I kind of want to learn to do some of those. Like there are so many random things that I see, and it's like I want to do that. Like I personally have throwing cards, not like the metal ones. The metal ones are probably too lethal from my point, and I feel like knowing my clumsy streak, I'll be like, ha, and I find like, oh, there's something stuck to the back of my neck. But I have like specific throwing cards. I forgot where I put them, but and they have like little like cutouts in them, so they actually make like a little like whistle sound as like they're thrown properly, and it's really cool. It's a little humming. Accuracy is not my game, but luck is. I think it was also because throughout high school there was something about not that I wanted to get into a fight, I just wanted to like be able to defend myself if I ever got bullied or people decided to mess with me. Because it's funny, my weapon of choice is never like a lethal weapon. It's like something randomly there out in the wild, or whatever I can like think of to use quickly. I remember one time I fended myself off of bullies with an umbrella. Those were fun times. Actually, the funny thing, Stuffy, is that the cards that I have, right? They're not paper cards, although I can throw paper cards because, yeah, that's the thing. They're actually like this hard plastic, so if you throw them hard enough where you mess it up, they actually shatter. And so, like, you'll get even like sharper angle cuts because they shatter. But also, I did not throw these at people. They were just for fun. Well, I'm glad, Nampy. You know, when it comes to like mobile games nowadays, I'm not saying that I miss the old times, but mobile games nowadays don't feel creative. You know, like when they first came out, every video game had like their own theme and like playing of a game. Like, you know, Jetpack Joyride, Fruit Ninja, like anything from that studio, those two studios, or like Subway Surfers. Nowadays, video games like it's all about time, ads, money, and so it's really hard to find ones that are really entertaining. At least for me. The only thing I really use my phone nowadays is to message friends and read webtoons, and maybe the occasional like play Fire Emblem Heroes. Wait, Stuffies. What? I even I'm confused. What was the phrase? Speak quietly and carry a bit stick. I honestly don't remember. I think I definitely was fortunate to like not be into a bunch of schools where bullying was a prominent thing, but it was more of like kids who would be really annoying. It's against me because I just didn't want to interact with them. I'm like, just leave me alone. I mean, later on, like they respected me because whatever, but Sakura just annoyed me, ended up like respecting me as a person later on. Oh. I do not know that saying. Although I will say though, I did have like a few shares of incidents of bullying with myself on me. Jokes on you, napping. I'm broke. Always. But I also think like the reason why I wasn't bullied later on in life was because I definitely shifted as a person later on. Because I stopped being as annoying as I was as a kid. Because my voice used to be really, really high. And I could definitely annoy any kid with my voice. Because I was annoying. That was my shtick. Until I became more of like a survival version of myself. Where like I blended in with a lot of friend groups but never close to anybody. It was unfortunate because I just felt like I wasn't my true self with most people. And like I had a bunch of friends, but not anybody I was close to. Huh, interesting, Nappy. I don't know what I was in high school. I was like, how I viewed myself was partially through an anime. I think Tokyo Ghoul definitely had like a little messed up phase of myself of like, and also something about King of the Towers, but being like the colorless king in a sense, where I was definitely like, that's true to both of your statements, but I definitely saw myself as like a chameleon or like the colorless king, where I could blend in with every group, but I was never part of them truly. So like, I was a nerd. I was a choir. Well, I was in choir. I was in volleyball. I was in a couple of like random clubs that I never participated in. I was just, here's this for my college thing. Yeah. I would run up to people like super fast, stop in front of their face, and just scare them off a little bit, just a wee bit, you know. But I am really glad I broke free from that, because a lot of the things that I was, I'm grateful for who I was then, because I helped a lot of people who were having trouble in their points and times in their life. And that's one thing I can be proud of. Although I was really skinny back then. And that was because of lots of stress. Nappy, I'll give you a choice today because you redeem that so often. You want a big one, you want a small one, or do you want like a really small one, or do you want a medium-sized one? How small do I have? Let me quickly search the recesses of my mind. Do I have like a really, really small plushie? I do. Now this isn't like a saying or anything, but I'm gonna go back in the closet real quick. I'll be right back. Y'all don't burn the stream while I'm gone. See what I meant? Nappy's are little arsonists. Actually, I need to think about this. So I was planning to do like a choreo song. I need to know if this Eevee actually fits on my shoulder if I just put it on right, so it doesn't like fall off, because I have to be very careful about how I put it on. Okay. Yep. Definitely not gonna work. Maybe I get a rubber band. Maybe. Because one of the choreos that I want to do is the Pokemon Day song for 2024. They have a little whole dance thing and content ideas. And I also have a bunch of like Pokemon plushies, whether it finger, hand, right on camera. There we go. So we have Squirtle right there. We got Pikachu, finger that way. Up more Pikachu right there. We got Piplup like behind there somewhere, behind Max or non-binary plushie, and then I also have a Didachu in the closet somewhere there, and like a smaller Squirtle. If you couldn't tell, I am definitely a water type user. Oh yeah, and there's more than just that's just there. I am giving some of them a better home because when I was going through my depressive phase in the pandemic and got stimulus checks, I might have spent a little way too much on playing an overseas plushie the crane game thing, and then yeah. Do I regret that? Yes. Was it something that helped me in the time instead of therapy? Yes and no. But we're better than that now. As much as I love cloud machines, we're not dumping a ton of money into it anymore. And I have enough plushies as it is. Yeah, I have enough. You know, something I've been really thinking about lately is like, I think I want to do an episode where instead of us, I usually play games with Chaos, right? Nampy, and I want to try doing a thing where we play like Smash or Pass or reading Reddit stories and like talk about it. Because, you know, Chaos and I have a lot of times where we just like, we, not like we like to talk, but we have different profound thoughts and things sometimes. And it might seem fun. Although I really would like to know about like Smash or Pass when it comes to like the first gen Pokemon or like names. Hi, Dad How are you? Oh yeah. I'm excited. Oh, thank you, Stuffies, for following. I really appreciate it. But every time someone follows me now, because of the new goals that have randomly hit, I am nervous about it, because once we reach 500, I'm gonna watch my old videos. And I'm having a moment with that. I'm not at peace. I'm not at peace with seeing that. I'm not. I don't want to see my old videos. I know I will die, and I'm already feeling very flustered by it. No. It's not. It's not. I'm not ready. Honestly, I don't even know how many old videos we're gonna watch. I think we're gonna watch up to the point before like I actually like started posting my streams on here, because I think that's a good stopping point. Oh, my hat. I liked my beanie. It was keeping my head warm, even though. Oh dear. I also forgot I had like bad bedhead. I find out that like whenever I sleep too long, it's either one or two things: bad bedhead or my hair wakes up stylized. Like I just have the Asian gene of like I can just swoosh my hair, it's fixed, it's all good. But also sometimes it'll just get like this nice stylization. You know, I used to have a top hat. It was like I don't think I have it anymore with me. That would be back at home. Ah, gotcha. I can do that. I mean, there's multiple things. Usually, if they reactivate it, that's when the hat gets taken off. So if I'm already wearing a hat, but we can also change the hat. All right, we're putting the beanie back on. All right, fine. Good thing I have another hat with me. Although I don't know what happened to my other hat. Ugh, this feels weird. This feels weird. Ooh, maybe a fedora. This feels. Oh god, I can't even hear the music anymore. Oh god. This feels weird. If I need more hats, I need to go actually in my closet for it, and I'm doing alright. You're right. Maybe I should put the headphones on the ears itself, and that solves my problem. But yeah, I'm doing alright. Things are. I. Today was supposed to be a little bit more productive, but I ended up just sleeping. Yeah, I ate today. I made sure to eat. My belly's on fire a little bit. I had some tteokbokki. I had water. Got that hydration because of Nappy. And, I'm full-ish. I guess that at some point I need to make like a snack fun. Actually, I do have a snack fun. But I do have a chip jar that it was one of the song covers. So like, excuse me, on my about page, there's a tip jar for like a French fry fund if someone wants to fund my French fry addiction. That I go out and get French fries, but that's besides the point. But what's the word? Sign, signal, hand, memory. Why can't I remember this? I was trying to answer this. I don't remember. How do I catch a squirrel? Uh, nuts. Oh, hi, fire truck. Oh yeah, my friend got me the saltwater taffy. You know, it was like for my birthday. How many years ago? 2 years ago. And like I'm trying to get through them. Well, yeah, for the win. I think what I don't like about this is the fact that like it's wrapped up into like two balls. It doesn't feel right. Where's Puma? If Puma was up right now, I think he can match the dad joke energy. Where is Puma on my server? What do I call Snow with abs? You know, they say that as you get older, you start losing your sweet tooth. I don't think I eat as sweet as I used to, but my sugar tolerance has been super high anyways. These dad puns are where my daddy issues start, right? Imagine. Oh yeah, that's true. Puma writes his dad jokes on Insta. But I mean, Puma should be here right now as these dad jokes happen. That reminds me. So, I sent a message to my friends recently because I saw this thing on Insta. So, no, Insta, on YouTube. And it was like this whole video of like, hey, there's someone here ready to pick you up. And the guy's like, what do you mean? It's just the garbage truck. Yeah. And then like back and forth the panel. Da, ba, 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 da. And then I said, that's me. That's me getting picked up. That's my ride right there. I'm trash. And but oh, we're cracking out every dad joke, aren't we? But my friends are like, you're. But whenever I tell my friends that I'm trash, they're like, no, you're not trash. You're golden trash. You're special trash. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm not just any trash. I'm sparkly. Maybe yellow. And maybe worth something. That's right, Nampy. That's actually an idea for an emote. Like, for a personal emote for, like, my channel. Is that I should definitely have, like, me as a raccoon in a trash can. Probably with, like, just colored hair. Now imagining, like, you know how they make those plushies where they're like all like rainbow colored, like more like the sparkly, like neon, like pale yellow, pink, and blue. Imagine that, but as a raccoon. I feel like today's the day of like I'm just gonna share a little bits of information about like what I did in the past, and you know, there was a period where I did not like sleeping in a bed. I like sleeping on the couch and like a pillow fort. I've actually slept in like one of those like 50-gallon storage bins for a bit. I've slept on a shelf. And my family's like, why can't you sleep in a normal spot? And I'm like, no. No. I will sleep wherever I can. I still have not slept on a bed of nails. But that's a whole other situation. I remember we talked about it yesterday while I was playing Honkai, but Inara was like, at least you're not the Timu version of Corpse Husband. You're the Wish version of Corpse Husband. You know, I was trying to keep like a calm voice for everything today and just for the talking, but I think I got randomly excited and started speaking faster than usual. Oh, that's also something that I used to be like. I used to talk really quickly, mainly because I was nervous to talk to anybody that wasn't around my age. But now that I've gotten older, adults scare me way less. Like as a kid, I was definitely so there's just something that was really tough for me to talk to as adults. Do you really want to do that, Dad Bod, today? Like stuff is, why have a woman when you can have a man? And why have a man when you can have none of them? Or you could have both. Or whatever. This was not my agenda today. Today was to be productive. I like how it's basically become derailed DJ from being productive today. Sure, why not? Oh, Puma actually responded. Well, it's already happening. Hello, Dad Bod.
Oh, there.
Oh. Huh. You sound very similar to one of my friends, actually. But a little bit deeper.
Isn't that good or bad?
I don't know. Like, you remind me of him, but that's it. Like, I'm processing, like,
So what are your thoughts of the new TFT set?
I haven't played it. I have not touched it. I said that I will wait until it comes out for like the normal people. So tomorrow I will play it. I have seen it and I'm excited. Also, Nappy's asking, can you make an old man pirate voice?
Wouldn't be an old man pirate voice.
Give me Blackbeard, I guess. He's old and probably dead. Well, he is dead, but that's besides the point.
I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that.
Nappy, do you mean like for Dadbot to act like whenever I do an old man voice, like, but like go yarg as well for the other parts, like, yarg whippersnappers, I can't believe you do these things, yarg. But definitely not in my voice because my voice is too high for that.
Erg, I'm a pirate.
All right.
Sorry, my voice is monotone.
Hey, that's totally fine.
Yarg. I'm a pirate.
Ollie, want a cracker? Right?
Only want a cracker.
Yeah, I guess I am. I guess I am the parrot today. I've been demoted.
You're the parrot today. Okay. I don't even know what to say at this point.
I don't know either. Do you want to talk about something, or do you want to go back to the stream?
I'm down for anything.
That is, well,
So you haven't seen anything about the new TFT set?
well, okay. So I've seen like the videos on like what is promised, what are the new sets, well, extra, well, the traits and classes you could say, but I haven't seen anything else besides that. Like I know that Lissandro will cook people in a pot, and I'm excited for that. I know that you can build Kale's like story. Duelists are back. Bruisers now have like max health damage or something, which is nice because bruisers, you know, they always get really.
More 4-star champ.
Wait, what about Jin?
Sorry, my throat hurts really bad.
All good.
Kale is now our 4-star champ.
Oh, lovely. Which makes sense because if it goes to the prismatic trait. What else? That's all I can remember at this point. I know there was like a lot.
Rakan and Zyra thing.
Oh yeah, the whole Rakan and Zaya thing.
Depending on where you place them, depends on which one you'll get.
Mm-hmm. But they'll still help out each other based on when they cast.
And then Hui has the ability where he can print units.
Oh yeah. That'll be fun. My friend thought it was gonna be like super overpowered. But
It was super broken.
Huh.
But they patched it out. Because at one point, when you would 3-star Hui, would just instantly give you 3-star 5 costs.
Oh, that sounds horrible. Stuffies, don't do it. Don't do it. Smoking does not equate to deep, raspy voice. Sometimes you don't. No.
Men's genetic.
Yeah, you gotta have them good genetics, or have some weird thing like Corpse has, unfortunately, where something acid burns his vocal cords. And I say smoking because there are the stories where people like have to get those inserted holes because they can't breathe normally and stuff like that. You might not want to have that kind of voice either.
It's called a stoma.
That. Wait, no? Is it? 'Cause
Yes.
when I hear stoma, I think of the whole like where people have to, because they don't have their large intestine anymore, and so they have to like, or is it colon? And so they have to have a waste basket.
No.
No. Oh.
The stoma is a hole in the throat.
Okay. No. Dad, but I just looked up what a stoma is. I don't think so.
There's literally a video.
Wait, how do you?
This lady has a hole in her throat.
Yeah.
And
But
she
wait,
goes on about how if she has CPR, it has to be mouth to stoma, not mouth to mouth.
interesting. I don't think that's the word for it, because when I look up what a stoma is a small opening in the abdomen which is used to remove body waste, such as feces and urine, into a collection bag. So I don't think you want to have your mouth to stoma. But I can also look up the other thing. I'm getting sidetracked today.
He's one of these ones from like 20
Oh.
years ago where they talk about it.
No, they're both the same thing. I don't know how I feel about this.
But that's what happens. You get the thing in your throat.
Yeah. No, but it's also called the stoma. Because the stoma I know about is like for body waste, but then this is also
Poop
stoma
deck, yeah.
for the neck. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just like,
To be fair, you have to like plug it to be able to drink. So technically, you can have waste come through.
if I had an editor, they'd be like, the more you
Creepy,
know.
isn't it?
A little. I'm just more just caught off guard. And it doesn't help that I have two hats on, so I feel even more flustered. It feels really warm.
Then take one off.
No, it's been redeemed that they have to be both on. No one has said to take it off.
Quick, everybody redeem hydrate. Let's drown them.
No, you can't. They've already tried doing that in the past, actually, where I had somebody who would redeem hydrate like every 30 seconds, and I just couldn't do anything else, and so I was like, please don't drown me. So I changed it to like I think every 30 minutes for hydrate, because you can technically drown yourself
Hasn't
from
been
water.
30 minutes since the last one.
Well, all
It's
right.
been about 10 to 15.
Maybe it's that. I don't remember anything. Where am I? What am I doing?
What are you drinking?
Basically, it's this thing called AG1 that my uncle told me to get, and it's supposed to be good for you. But it tastes, so its flavor is like green, like like matcha and like pineapple. It doesn't taste like any of those. It just tastes like bubble gum, like an off bubble gum. And if you start to smell it, it smells like fungal, like mushroom, which it has mushrooms in it, but it's supposed to be good for you. And yeah, we'll leave it at that.
So what you're saying is you're drinking mushrooms.
Yeah, mushroom mixture, some like carrot and other things. I'd rather just eat mushrooms. Mushrooms are good, although I know people who don't like them.
You heard it here, guys. He likes mushrooms in his mouth.
You're not wrong. You're half right.
That facial expression just makes me laugh every time.
Pretty much, stuffies. Pretty much. I make some interesting facial expressions. There is also a facial expression when like for villain things. I've told this story in the past, but I was an extra for this like college film thing, and my friend was like, "Hey, we need some extras. Can you come be here?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" At the time, my hair, I dyed it blue, but it was fading to like this Joker kind of green, and they were like, "Oh, the person who's supposed to be like one of the main mafia villains could not show up. Can you you want to be one of the main villains instead? You only have one line. You'll be fine."
So I gotta ask.
Hmm?
Was
Yeah.
it Manic Panic or Splat?
Actually, I did have Manic Panic for a second and Splat, but I think the one that I was using at the time for that situation was Manic Panic. Although I preferred Joico at the time because Joico is way better when it came to like semi-permanent colors. But I definitely won't return to Manic
Turns out
Panic.
that Splat is like
What about
really bad for you.
Oh. Well, luckily I only used it once.
I used it religiously,
Oh.
which explains why most of my hair is dead.
I blame the reason why my hair is dying now is because
Explains.
of stress, and also because the reason why I also bleach my own hair nowadays is because when my mom did my bleaching, she burnt my head. Like, she chemically burned me. She's like, I was like, "Hey mom, it's burning, it's hurting." She's like, "Oh, that's what you wanted. You want..."
Sister did the same thing.
Yeah. She was like, "That's what you wanted."
Bleached my hair like 3 times in the span of like 2 days.
Oh, I think mine was done 3 times,
Like,
and
we'll get it as close to wet as we can.
oh dear. Oh dear.
Next thing
Yeah.
I know, my hair is like a rope
My hair was not a rope,
and it's falling out.
but my head was well, my skin was like flaking off, like it was burned. It wasn't fun.
Never really had bad dandruff before that, but after that, oh god.
What do you use religiously, stuffies? Because I can't say I use anything religiously at this point in time.
So you don't use deodorant every day?
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Don't wipe your butt?
Okay. All right.
You brush your teeth?
All right. All right. No, not alcohol.
Thank you.
Well, you can blame League for that, right? Even though I'm actually not a stinky person. Like, I know they make the joke that everyone who plays League, like, stinky doesn't shower. I'm like, how can you not shower?
You would be surprised.
Hmm. Also, sorry if you hear my roommate. He's washing the dishes and talking at the point. Well, that's my roommate.
You're fine. In my case, I have 2 really overweight brothers.
I
Both
heard.
play League,
Okay. Oh.
but they're like 400 and 500 pounds. And they never bathe. You can smell them before you see them, type of thing.
My sense of smell would beg to differ. Honestly, because mostly it's usually pretty bad until any strong smells hit it. So I have resistances. It's just like, but if it's really strong, it's
Oh,
another.
no, trust me, you'll smell them. It's bad.
I mean, I would say, as long as it doesn't get so bad to the point of like, where we see those. I've seen too many videos of people who have like really disgusting houses, where it's like there's just trash all over the floor, and then
Put it
there's
this way, the one brother got necrotizing fasciitis because of it.
what is that?
Flesh-eating bacteria disease.
Oh,
I have narrated novels. I'm an anti-voice actor.
huh? I might have heard that wrong. I,
I have narrated novels,
yes, you've narrated.
and I'm an anti-voice actor.
Oh, normally I'm not caught off guard. No, that's such a lie. Every time I'm on stream, I'm caught off guard. But I feel like if this wasn't like being on stream, I wouldn't be caught off guard.
Told you this before.
You have? I might have not read it,
Yes.
or my memory's just lost. That. To be
You
fair,
saw it, you went, huh, interesting, and then you just went back to doing other things.
God, I feel bad. I'm sorry.
I think
Like-
you felt I was a troll for like the first 3 or 4 times I was in here.
No, I don't think so. I think
I
it's
was roasting you every chance I got.
I mostly roll with it. Have I had any bad experiences here on stream though? I don't think so. I actually like read through most things, but sometimes I'm like I want to focus on something.
Didn't you cry one time?
I was crying. No, I wasn't crying. I was like laughing and just dying because
Yo, one of the times that I came in here, you and your duo partner were talking about one of the times where you got like full on bullied to the point where you cried.
oh, I want to say that I don't think I've ever been bullied to the point of crying, but I would think I was laughing to the point of where I where I was laughing to the point of where tears started coming. And that has happened before because some things just randomly happen. But when you came during that day, I was really embarrassed because I wanted things to go well. And then progressively it just got worse and worse gameplay wise. And in my head I was like, this guy's probably thinking that I I am upsetting him like gameplay wise, like he could have done this, he could have done that. It went downhill from there. I was really flustered that day. I think after the stream had ended, I don't think I was able to sleep easily. I was just spacing off, and it's like when you're about to sleep, have a good night, and then you're hit by this really embarrassing memory that happened in the past. But this one just happened recently, and I just couldn't hop over it for that point in time.
Where did Nampy go?
She's probably asleep. Nampy is... I love Nampy. Nampy has been there for me. That has helped me get to like partner status for a bit ever since like joining this game server called Loftia. But yeah, she's probably asleep. She like got her snack, but she has school the next day and she needs to sleep. That's usually the case. Oh, but I know you just said hentai voice actor, right? I actually spoke to somebody who's also a BL voice actor at some point in time. Not on stream, but like off stream. And I was just like, that's really cool. I do think voice acting is,
Interesting.
yeah. I do think like voice acting is really cool though. Be fun to do one day, if possible. But
I would offer to help, but I don't think you're cut out for this if I do.
yeah, probably not. Cause I feel like
Audiobooks are a marathon. And for hentai voice acting, it's very dependent on the role. Some want the sultry, some want like a, I guess you could say, like a hunter and its prey sort of thing. It really just depends on what you're doing.
I don't know why, but I'm imagining like those really cheesy book covers for romance novels. Don't know why, that's not the first thing that's popping in my head right now, but it is.
For a while there, I used to be on ePal. Do you know what that is?
I do not. Would you care
So
to...
it's where you can go on there and you can pay people to play games with you.
Huh.
And you're the voice call the entire time. Okay, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Huh? Sorry. What'd you say?
I gotta use the bathroom really bad.
Alright, go ahead. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna go.
Alright. Man, I feel very bad and hard of hearing at the moment. Mainly because this is not helping me whatsoever. Fluffies, if you're still here, what are you up to anyways? Alright, if I can tackle this, then I can focus on all the other things I need to do. Are you lactose intolerant? Oh. I believe we talked about this before, but unfortunate that I don't have like the full-on Asian gene where I can't handle dairy. Like, I can have a certain amount of it, but I definitely shouldn't overdo it, like have a full block of cheese. As much as I would love to. Most of the time. Well, usually Nappy would tell me if she went to, like, Gotham. I just thought about that. Nappy usually, if she leaves, she usually tells me that she's gonna go to Gotham. 5% that she already left. I have a bad habit of just like not being able to sit normally sometimes. Like most people put their feet on the ground, I just like having them up and above. Like the chair sometimes. I also hope I can sleep today because I definitely slept in way too long and I need to sleep because I have to wake up probably at 8 a.m. Make food, have that, get ready, become, get ready, make sure Sune's on camera for Cult of the Lamb, take a break, play the new TFT set, actually take a break, make some phone calls for work, to find work, play the new TFT set because I really want to play it. I thought it was coming out today, but it makes sense. It comes out on Wednesdays, and then what's the word? What's the word? Then I'm gonna play Wilder Myth with Chaos, which I'm also excited about. Gotta continue our story, do work on like our name puns, and then dating sim. It's gonna be jam-packed day tomorrow. Is it even tomorrow yet? Nope. 2 more minutes and it's tomorrow for me. Oh, midnight times. How good to be this way. I think so. I mean, not everybody stays for a while. But yeah. Wait, my toots? What? Nani? I did not drop gas. I don't know what you mean. I'm just quietly here reading, you know, because I need to finish this because I've been at this for probably an hour. But I mean, it's also that's mostly my stream is that like kind of just quiet. I have like a person here and there, and I always appreciate them for being around. But it's also like a late time. Like at this point in time, not a bunch of people are around. At least want to speak English and other things like that. Plus, not everybody has like night hours like I do. Being an unhealthy night owl. I also think today this stream's gonna last a bit longer. Usually it is just like 10 to 12, well, 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. But I think today it might be a little bit longer because I want to make sure that I get all these things done. Specifically, something for Sune, the character, our little curious god, I guess you could say, for Cult of Sune, and we'll call it Lamb. And also, I think I want to do one doodle so that I can work on potential ideas for emotes, because that'd be fun. Finally, I have finished this. This is done. I'm a lot longer than I thought it would. And that's my own fault. Boop. Alright, done. Achievement. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. I still gotta finish this. I'll chug it in a second. Next for me is to create another like poem thing, because saying found things every now and then is nice. Now where's that pen? Ba-da-ba-ba. Today's date is the 19th. Oh, I gotta pull my hand out of this. I can't extend my shirt too long with this, because if it was longer, then it'd work for the whole finger slit as usual, but it doesn't. It's not even the 19th anymore, it's the 20th. I better change that, because by technicality, it is the 20th. Actually, no, I was gonna write that. No, we can write it now, because that could be still potentially a song idea. Yeah, got it. Mm-mm-mm. I think I'll leave it at that. I won't give a name to this one today. It's because I think it's more of like a short brainstorm at this point for that one. Now, where is actually my doodling on? Oh, right there. Bum, bum, bum. Alright, I need to find my Sharpies and colors for this. I have my pencil. Sorry, tell me to open this next to the mic. Because, I don't do. I don't want that for people. Oh dear, I hope this fits me properly. This looks like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. I'm gonna put right back just to see if it fits real quick, and then so I want to leave a surprise. Oh dear, this fits so weird. Oh no. Oh god. Okay, it fits. Now let me try something out real quick. Okay, it works. Just gotta be super careful about how I do this. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Put it down, we let it breathe. Oops, wrong thing. Hi, Nari. Oh, that's also the wrong thing. Y'all don't need to look at that part. Meant to big me and then I put it something else. I'm doing alright, Nari. Doing alright. What was the other stream about? I mean, you said cards. What kind of cards? We talking about Pokemon? We talking about Magic Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh? We talking about Huntic, Vanguard? We talking about playing cards? Wait, overall doing alright. I definitely did not do all the things I wanted to do today because it's way too much. Oh, okay, so it was Vanguard. Shadowverse. Oh, I know what Shadowverse is. Never got into it personally, but yeah. I mean, today is my simple stream, you know, where I do work and be productive, sort of, and just talk with you guys, but kind of get a little distracted, excuse me. Oh, these stretch? Oh. Oh, it is just one giant sheet. Okay, I can roll with it. Currently, I'm doing some crafts, basically. Might have to do 2 layers. Yeah, I might have to do 2 layers. Okay, I can do this. Wait, stretch though. I said stretch. Stretch my foot. What do you mean stretch? How big of a slit hole do I need for this? Oh yeah. Oh. Okay, I need these to overlap, so I'm probably gonna do 2 different cuts. And then honestly, I feel like it's hard for me to get in card games. Like I've played Hearthstone, I've played Legend of Runeterra. I'm currently working on something for my eyes real quick. It's for, in short, it's for the character for tomorrow for Cult of the Lamb. Cause, and yeah, just quick design things. Do I want to make 2 today or 1? I have both colors, right? I have both colors. I think I do. But yeah, it's just like I want to be able to hide the eyes a little bit better, because I'm gonna play a character, I gotta get a full character. Where are my scissors? Who needs exact measurements? Wait, actually, would it just be fine if I just did this? Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. Although I hope one day where it's like I don't have to do this myself. At least I want a better production of the masks that I wear. It's funny because I actually do like wearing masks. They're kind of fun. Ooh, or maybe I have like a masquerade at some point. Oh, that would be so much fun too. I want to do a masquerade ball. That'd be fun. Honestly, just thinking about what fun things I can have at this point in time. I do wish the material felt like a little bit better. Yeah, that's the point. Like, I wish I had better fabric though, because like the mesh fabric that they had was just like I want it to be see-through, but I don't want it to be to the point of like so see-through. I did like the fact that I was able to buy these masks and then I'm able to like do designs on them, which is really nice. Yeah, definitely a little bit too light for my taste. How are we doing with like see-throughness? Oh, yeah. Probably need a second layer. I'm actually gonna do, well, I guess you can already see what I'm doing, but basically it's something like this. And I'm thinking to actually just go with a Sharpie. Why dye it when I can just do a Sharpie thing with it? But yeah, I mean, I could do that, but it requires more materials, and more materials I can't afford at this point in time. So you make do with what you have. I couldn't find any like mesh that I had at home, so I was like, we're gonna have to DIY this. Yeah, I guess. But luckily there'll be just a layer, and it won't be like as close to my eyes, and I'll let it like actually sit out so that the fumes are gone and all that, so it shouldn't be that bad. I say, and then later on you see me later on. I was like, ah, my eyes, they're dying because Sharpie chemicals. Woo. That'd be crazy. Also, curious question, Anari, but like, what times are better for you when I stream? More like just out of curiosity, though. I bought all this fabric, and I don't even need most of it. I just need like a little bit of it. I guess I'll save the rest and donate to a friend and be like, hey, you want this for something? Some random project? Gosh, this reminds me of every time when, like, I didn't have enough money for a lot of my projects when growing up, and so, like, now I'm just doing this as, like... Understandable. Alright, let me get the... Where's the core? We're using cheap glue. I'm just about to love using super glue and stuff like that. I know I have, like, glue. Okay, this stretches a lot more than I thought it would. I might actually have a lot of excess materials. Do I actually want this as more of like across the thing, or should I have it in smaller bits? What is that? I keep grabbing the wrong one. That's the wrong slip. Okay. I should have probably got like a paper towel. I'm gonna get glue on my fingers. Oh no, and I can't take these off. Oh dear. Wait, I can do this. Oh, smart brain. Yes. No head empty. I might be talking to myself a little bit, so if it bugs you, I'm sorry. Like, I'm having small achievements here and there. I'm like, yes. Go, small achievements. Give me nothing. And everything at the same time. What do you mean? No loot for game for achievements. Okay, I'm learning that I probably should just cut this. Should have fabric glue. Why am I doing this way? I'm gonna regret this later on. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's much better. Okay, let me take 2 of this, redo it again. I gotta put this actually in my hand, which I don't like, but you know, we roll with it. Just don't fall through the slits. God, I feel like I'm like in elementary school all over again. Just me struggling with like whatever achievements I got. Let's go. Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, there's glue all over my hand. I should also be like, disclaimer, don't get me wrong, I love arts and crafts. Just cleaning this up later on is gonna be a fun thing. That's true, that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna use all this excess glue in my hand just like to pat this down right now. There we go. Yeah, stay down, stay down. I feel like I'm doing like something bootleggy right now, Nari. I'm like, this is so bootleg. Actually, that might solve my problem. I forgot I have to do 2 layers, so if I cut these in half, that should work just fine, actually. Yeah. So then I can actually like flatten this and then do another layer. Oh, stroke of genius. This is also not what I'm wearing tomorrow. Well, you know what? This is my test one, and this is my test one, so I know what to do for the next one. Like, hello, welcome to Arts and Crafts, like, late at night, at, like, midnight time. Bones? It's been a while. Been a while since I've seen you, Bones. And no, there is... I've never eaten glue, and I will not be sniffing glue today. Oh no, my hands are too sticky. Aw, oh no. I mean, it makes you feel better I'd work with you, even though I don't know who you are, and also just like, I don't have a job at the moment. I'm very much poor and managing. Yeah. Well, what sucks is that they're not sticking together, so I actually might have to stick with to one layer. Or I do one corner at a time. Okay. We do one corner at a time. With arts and crafts, I'm like, it's only gonna take a small moment in my time in life. Actually starts doing it. Then you realize, nope, it's gonna take me days, hours, time. And the funny thing is that I'm doing it on the mask that I'm not wearing. Ugh. I guess there will be a part 2 of this next week for when I do the other ones. I'm really glad I'm not doing super glue though. My hands would be stuck together. I feel like I need to ask what is a need though. I don't know what a need is. That's true. That's true, Inari. Practice makes perfect, but you also have to make sure you do consistent practicing. Because if you don't, oh, doesn't really happen, does it? I say that from experience. Oh. You know what? Mood. But also, I don't know, I liked being in school. It was nice just to learn. You know, the freedom to learn is a really nice thing. But then you get older, and you go to college, you have to pay for education, and then like you gotta debate whether or not your mental health is like I mean, there's something nice about like not working in a like corporate job anymore, but at the same time, there's other things to worry about. There's pluses and minuses to many different lifestyles. We'll say that. Please stay down. Please stay down. Please stay down. Please stay down. Actually, I need to like flatten and then. Okay, okay. Don't move that finger. Don't move that finger. Just lay down. Live your best life. Be stuck together. Something, something. My glue sticky hands are struggling. Hi, welcome to DJ Struggle Bus today. Hmm. Like processing, like, how do I do this? I think the better way for me to do this is actually to get the two pieces like stuck together and then glue it down, because this ain't working. This is not working the way I thought it would. Everything's a learning experience. Ah. Alright, cut this in half. Did the piece fall? Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, then we cross panel these together so they cover a better, like, patterning. What's up about this is that you can't, like, glue it nicely because they have holes, and then you have to, like, keep your fingers together, so you're definitely gonna have to, like, get, like, glue on your fingers for it. Please, stick together. You know, I feel like there's also, like, a dark side to, like, arts and crafts. Like, oh yeah, it's like, it's really fun being creative. The dark side. You didn't think you were gonna get glue all over yourself, did ya? You didn't think that you're gonna buy all this material that you'll never use, did ya? Don't mind me, I'm just holding my hands together so this sticks. My idea is not working. It's not working. See, I would do like on a piece of paper or something, but I don't think that's gonna work either. already said it before, but like it has been a while since I've had glue on my hands. Oh, and I don't know how I feel about it. Ah, oh no. Okay, I think that's a good enough coverage. But please stick together properly. I don't know what properly to stick together is, but there's a lot to do. Mom, I got sticky fingers. Oh dear. Oh dear. Pat, pat it down, but make sure they don't get stuck to your hands. Oh god, now I'm sniffing the. Oh god, that did not want to be. I did not want to smell glue today. God, it's gonna be a moment with like the Sharpies with glue. All right, and then finger stuck. Okay, no more glue. No, nothing like that. No fume festival here. I was never one of those kids like that, and I will never be one of those kids. Because I am no longer a kid, and two, no. I know this is like a part of life, but I feel like there are points and times where I realize I just get into a lot of shenanigans. And today's shenanigan is this. Wasn't expecting it to happen, but life just said, here, you're gonna have fun. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want glue there. Oh, I hope it doesn't show glue there. I really hope there's no glue there. No, 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 no. There we go. Put it down.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful. Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions. Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Discovery Houston, trim to ATO.
Nice to be in orbit.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I might cut off this extra part. Yeah. I remember like in first grade, I dared a kid, like, she was like, I can eat like a crayon. And like all the other kids and I were just like, oh yeah, then prove it. And then she got a cavity from eating the crayon. She's like, I blame you guys for my cavity. I am so glad I was not like that kind of kid. I should have got like a paper towel in my hand. Oh, my hand. They're stuck. Oh. Okay, let me cut off this excess piece. So I definitely need to like go a little less on these things. But I mean, hey, kids do what kids do, which is trust out the parents ever so slightly. Because curiosity. I feel like one thing about being a kid is that, like, it's really a time to just learn. And learn when to not make those mistakes ever again. Ew. Oh. That sounds like a party in Ari. You know, that reminds me of something when I was a kid. So there was just like this new transfer student that came to our school. She didn't have any friends and whatnot in like first grade. And like for some reason she just always threw up. Like in class. And people started like not being her friend. And I remember that I was like, I'll be your friend. And like I remember like she needed somebody to help, well, no, walk her home. My mom and I like volunteered, and I just treated her like another person. Like whenever kids would just tease her about it or just like not try to be her friend, I was like, just be quiet. Like okay, and I do wonder what happened to that version of me for a bit, because I remember like growing up, you're taught like not to be friends with certain people, and like I didn't like that, and then now it's just like F it. When did I become so bitter and judgmental about those things? And now I'm back to normal, like back to who I was back then. But there was a period where that changed, and I realized it and didn't like it. But like anybody can be your friend, no matter who they are. Okay, I think this is good. But then again, I was also friends with people who just like were different from everybody else. Because who wants to be friends with everybody who's the same? It's not the worst, not the best, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Now we let that dry. We let it be. Oh, spirits of the mask. Ah. I don't know, but what am I... You know, one really interesting thing from like when I was younger is that I had two other friends, and weird thing is that we all had the same dream, but different lengths. Like one of us had like the really short part of it, one of us had like the full adventure, and the other one, well, for me, I had like the middle length. It was such a weird moment that we all had like a shared dream. Ah, gosh, this feels like... I feel like one of those peeling videos that people like find very comforting and like smooth. I don't know how I feel about that. Please glue, get off my hand. I know I need to put more glue, but off for now. Oh, I'm missing a piece. Or unless did I not cut another one? I got like literally like different glue shavings on me. I seem to have lost track of a piece. Oh, I was gonna say I'm getting married or something, but where is it? Is it not here? Oh, I guess not. Guess I do need to cut off a new piece. Oh. You know, I have been curious, like, do you think people can dream hop? That'd be kind of cool. I mean, for those people who can dream hop, that'd be really cool. Like, I know how to lucid dream and all that stuff. And I also know how to remember most of my dreams. I've also known people who just don't dream in general. I find that crazy because, you know, I go on like practically nightly adventures. And then I have people who just don't remember anything at all. Okay, I just did a small cut, so I need to just cut this off and get that. Well, I'll need this again at some point in time. Just not now. I'm gonna fold it and seal it back in the shadow realm. Anara, do you get nightmares? Because I ask this because, like, I don't. Mm. Yeah, not like I don't understand why people get nightmares, but I'm fortunate enough where they don't affect me. Like anything it's weird because like I don't like playing horror games, right? But if I have a scary thing in my dream, I'm like, okay, and or why are you here? Like, do you have anything else to do? Like, it's so weird. Cause I mean, for me, I go on nightly adventures, saving the world, etc., etc. And it's fun. But I do take damage in real life a little bit. Or like I'll wake up and I feel the pain of like what happened. Kind of like one of those things like your mind fools your body into thinking things. Like, drop a piece. Huh. I mean, I've also had dreams where I woke up and like had been crying from mainly not like anything bad, just like some emotional dreams or like certain ones where they'll be what's the word for it? Not enlightening. But I remember one time where there's nobody there. It's just a door, a window, a chair, and light shining through. And for some reason, that dream just felt so warm. And I woke up, I was like, did I just die? Like, it was such an endearing dream feeling. Trying my hardest not to get glue on my sleeves. And then we'll go for the right side. Oh, interesting. I mean, I've dealt with many different types of dreams in general, so... There's also that factor. I mean, I've also had a dream where I was out of body. Like, it's kind of funny. I was just floating around my room and just watching myself sleep for a bit. Then I floated off into the hallway. Just cause. Then I went back. And once I like fully flown back into like my body, I went back, like I woke up. It's just an interesting feeling. Okay, use excess glue on your hand to pat it down. Make sure everything sticks. Hopefully. You know, I've actually made a friend in life where like they were actually able to astral project, which is kind of cool. I mean, people have all their own different abilities and what they can do. I mean, I'm not saying I'm psychic, but I do have some fun abilities. Like, it's called DjDoubleT, I believe, and it's basically where you can see the future based on dreaming, in a sense, where it's like deja vu, like you've seen it before, but you've seen it in a dream. That is DjDoubleT, which I learned recently, which is really cool because I finally know what the word is. But every time it happens to me, I kind of treat it as like, I'm on the right path in life. This is the path I chose. And I'm getting to where I want to be. Potentially. Interesting. Okay. They're gonna need glue on the bad parts. Okay, cool. Maybe next time, instead of if I ever get more of these or do something else like this, I'll actually make sure to do this part first before I design like the actual design. Because I never thought about doing it this way. I just like having masks around. Actually, there was a dream where like I think I was watching like Markiplier's playing Super Hot or Jacksepticeye, and then when I went to sleep, I was playing Super Hot basically, but as like the person and character themselves. I had like a lipstick gun, which like I only had one ammo. The lipstick would shoot and fire, but then a grenade hit me and it blew up. So I got blown up and I woke up and was like, "Ow!" Rude. Throwing a grenade at me, blowing me up casually. How dare! Like the audacity to blow me up of all people. Ugh. Disgusting. Actually, no. I think I did return to sender. I don't remember the dream fully, but yeah, I was like, oh no, this is in front of me. Throw it back. And then it was a little too close, and then I think I was sliced in half or something. Either way, not fun, but that happened. I mean, the ability to also like lucid dream is fun, but I've learned that whenever I like am lucid dream, I can do it halfway. Like I can control what I do in the scenario, but I can't change the scenario that's happening all the time. Mainly because I'm just like, I'm here for the ride. I don't know how I feel about this, but Bones always turns up red and like whenever whenever they're around. And are you also like a red, but you're like a pale reddish. I don't know why, but my mind always perceives like whenever somebody turns red, I'm like, sus. But I know you guys can also choose what color you guys show up in as well. Oh, Bones, you're the wind. Are you Nymphia Wind? The drag queen? No, we already have Alaska Thunder F 5000. Having more drag queens. Oh, you're everywhere and nowhere? I thought it's because you just blow. Kidding. Kidding. So, the thing is, Anar, I collect trading cards. I don't play trading card games. Like, I have so many Pokemon cards. I also have Fire Emblem cards, because from Fire Emblem Cypher, because I love the art. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, online, for, like, Dueling Network Online, but then I stopped because, you know, I kind of grew out of it. We have so many other games to play nowadays. And it's like, can't kind of keep track with these. Maybe I should just glue this part down first and then the other part afterwards. And I also used to have like a viewer who like would actually come by and talk about like Pokemon and all that stuff, like Pokemon cards. As much as I do love card games, by the way. Like, I can teach you so many different card games with a simple deck of cards. You can do FML Hearts, a 6, Egyptian War, Old Maid, all those other games. Flapjack. Huh. Interesting. I've also learned that recently that I say huh interesting because I have nothing else to say or follow up with something sometimes, and then I'm like, yeah, that sounds kind of mean. Or it's whenever I have to like focus on something else at the same time. Because multitasking is not for me. Oh, I'm peeling. Oh, I'm peeling. No. Ah, no, I keep dropping the pieces. I have to clean this up later. Oh, no. Yeah, the one thing about Ultra Craft is like also just the cleanup factor after everything that you gotta think about. I am too warm-blooded to be a snake person. I refuse to be related to Mark Zuckerberg. No, 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 no. I refuse to be related to Mark Zuckerberg. I don't want to be a lizard person. I'm good. Whack. You know, that kind of reminds me of something really, really random, but like, talking to a friend of mine, and they're like, I don't eat like mammals, because I feel bad, and they're smart. But I was like, but you eat chicken, and they're like, yeah, chickens aren't mammals. And I was like, what? And I don't know why, but it threw me off. Because like, I was like, they are mammals, but he's like, no, but they're more related to like dinosaurs. So they're more like reptile. And I'm like, what? And I feel like that's still wrong. And I haven't looked it up because I don't want my world to be shaken by the fact that a chicken's not a mammal. Because it lay eggs. And I was like, I'm like, thanks, science. F me up, I guess. It's like, you know, random facts that just rock your world that you don't want to check if they're true or not. You just want to stay in denial. Like, I have been shaken, I have been stirred. Uh, this has driven me to madness. Thank you. Anari, how's your research going? Have you been shaken yet? Have you been stirred?
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Yeah. Which makes sense because, you know, mammals don't lay eggs unless you're a platypus. At this point, Bones, you're basically just saying gay lizards. That's what they are. Mark Zuckerberg could never, you know? I feel like Facebook itself is just creepy in general. Because, you know, the whole reason why Facebook was made was to, you know, find hot women in your area. But became something else. Entirely. Well, I mean, they also have Facebook dating now, but that's also something. So I guess technically it hit both points. Why are you sticking to my finger? Yeah, I need to sell a lot of my stuff, so I might actually have to use Facebook Marketplace again, and I really just don't want to open Facebook. No, wait, no, 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 no. Oh, no, I shifted it. Oh, I shifted it. No. Sorry, I'm just... It's getting later, and I'm just having a moment. I was like, can I get this done, please? I have stuff to do tomorrow. And it's not because I want to leave you guys in the dust. Like, I enjoy your company. I really do. Just that I want this done so I can do the fine stuff rather than get glue in my hand. But it's kind of like an analogy to life. There are gonna be points and times where it's tough, it's rough, it's gonna suck, it's gonna get sticky. But somehow you're gonna persevere until the point where you get to have fun and color. Even though it may take a while. Just saying. Crap. Crap. No, 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 no. Why? Why? Why are you getting stuck? Why are you getting stuck on that when you should be sticking on the mask? Thank you. No, don't get stuck on my finger. I know it can't hear me, it's not alive, but sometimes it helps when you just talk it out. It's not because I hear the voices of the items like I'm like Beauty and Beauty and the Beast. These are not alive. Patience is a virtue.
Remember, kids, patience is a virtue.
I wouldn't say that. There's also something about me where it's just like I have a really large amount of patience for like the most trivial things. Like it will take me at least 12 hours if I was angry at something. Like it took me a really long time to finish up the $1 million puzzle thing. Like I hated that puzzle because one, you had no image to work off of. Two, some pieces it was so poorly cut that some pieces fit like where other pieces could, but it just wouldn't fit just as nicely. And so like it was an evil puzzle. And you know what I got out of it? $1. But still, I was proud that it was done. Never again am I putting that together again. Even if they actually pay me a decent amount. Actually, no. If they pay me a decent amount, oh heck yeah, I'll do it. But I'm not doing that again. That took me at least like a full day. Although I am proud of myself for the fact that it was like I think 1,000 piece puzzle? No. I don't remember how many pieces, but it was torturous nonetheless. Also, Bones, what are you up to? Ugh. Plural? Oh. Secret MMO? There's a secret MMO? Huh? Huh. Party. Hey, as long as you're not summoning things to torture me, I'm fine with it. You know, if we need to take it down later on as like a mini boss. You know, I didn't realize life could get to the point of where, like, let's just do chaos magic for fun. But you know what? Anytime you can do chaos magic, just choose when you want to. You know the saying, there's a time and place for everything. But not now, but there's a time and place for everything, but why not now? No one quote me on that, please. Not today. I don't need, like, a random quote. Oh. You know, there's a saying, like, what can go, like, our Miller's point, what else can go wrong? You should never ask life what else can, like, what else, because life will try to prove you wrong. But at the same point, it's like, once you reach your lowest point, even if you get any lower at the lower point, there's always something afterwards. Like, you can get somewhere else. It doesn't have to be all downhill from here. And then when to like actually fight it all. Alright, that's done for now. I can work on that one I'll have to work on my red one at some point. I know I have two other ones. One's like a Kiss Rock one, which I don't like. Which I probably will never wear unless some other reason. Alright, I'm gonna wash my hands of this glue and absolve my sins, I guess. Something something. Something something. Okay. I have returned. Oh, what am I doing? Ah, yes, I'm looking for Sharpies. Some of my old markers. Specifically, I'm looking for like a specific color, and I hope that I have it. If I don't, I'm in trouble. At least creating wise. I just need a blue, I need a black. I have a black looking on at the moment. I just hope I have the bright blue. Haha! Okay, that one. And that one. Okay, it's not that bad looking right now. No. I just like wearing masks every now and then. But no, it's for a character that we're doing, like, character lore for the channel at some point. And basically, tomorrow I'm playing Cult of the Lamb, and my cult name is Cult of Sune. Sune is the god that we have for our cult. And tomorrow, Sune will take over the channel for a bit and play. Sune is a curious god, but does not speak that much, so they might just hang around. Hang around, play the game, and talk every now and then. They have a little bit of a lower voice than I do. They're mostly friendly for all I know. Yeah, so I can't apply too much pressure when drawing this in. You know, it's been a while since I've spelled Sharpie. I don't really miss it. I actually haven't thought about that, Bones. I would say... nothing like that. Not like a party god. Just more of like... something for freedom. A little bit of chaos. But like light chaos, you know? I guess you could say Trick's domain, most likely. That's usually how most of my beings are. Just... tricks. Definitely not any god related to like food or hunger or anything like that. just more of curiosity. Curiosity, playfulness. Very simplistic things. Prefers peace and quiet, less annoyances. Like, would definitely isn't good or evil, but once they like find something that interests them, they will pursue it to no avail. And if anybody gets in the way of that, they'll be very annoyed by that fact. You know, sometimes you just want to do things, but then you're just like, ugh, people, can you not? I'm trying to do something here. Oh, and I also mimic the style that I used to, well, not the style I used to draw as, but like a style that I can do. I definitely like doing like styles like these every now and then because they're really fun, like drawing wise, especially when I'm bored. How does it look though? It's like color is fine. That's right, I can also do the ones inside. Yeah, I'll do like that. There we go. But also, I feel like no, that's just my roommate. Ooh, this one's gonna be a lot more trickier because I forgot how much I did on this one. I gotta actually like complete the artwork somehow. I mean, my roommate keeps to himself most of the time, and like that's kind of what I like in a roommate. Like the style of art that I like doing sometimes is very much like we fill a space, we do shapes, and sometimes those shapes are made of like a bunch of other shapes. Like for this one particularly, I went for more of like a tech slash tribal, so like tech and tribal thing, but I also included some things that I like to include. So like right here, you'll see like on the mask itself, we have like little like OOs and stuff like that, or like the symbol for fire in Chinese, but or, like little pluses. I think I was like a martial phase at that time once, you see like X eyes. So it's just like the things that I was into at that point in time in life. You know, before I wanted to be a music artist slash producer, I used to actually want to be an artist. And then middle school kind of ruined that for me. Because just too much time, not enough work stuff to get done, you know? And I realized that this might be a potential for me to figure out some branding ideas as well. Because I think a lot of things that I was trying to figure out in the beginning, like after, you know, started having more friends around for like Twitch stuff, was that I'm trying to figure out like what do I want to be branded as? Like I have my branding for music, but like what are things that I can include to make this interesting? And that's why I'm like lore has been kicked in. Because I made these masks because I like wearing them for like Halloween events and stuff like that. And then it just like then this became part of a game lore. And then where do I go from that? So now it has its own name, and like I realized that sometimes I like acting as characters to play different games. And that once this character is gonna be incorporated, that it's just like different personality to act as for a little bit. Kinda like something freedom. Because you guys know me as DJ, but I also have my actual real name, and I've kind of forgotten that person for a bit, because I've hung around people who just know me by DJ. So it was an interesting point in time when I started hanging out with my friends again, like, in real life, and they called my real name. I was like, huh? Who's that? Yeah, I understand that, Bones. Like, you want to be something, but then life changes that. And that's also totally valid. You know, you could be one thing one day, and another day you don't want to be that. Like, pursue what makes you happy, but also make sure that it's profitable. That's always the but and thing. It's a lot easier to do things that make you happy. Because in turn, it's usually the other thing. But if you start off unhappy, and you still are unhappy, then point. Yeah, I get that in RA. It's not like it's a dead name or anything, but as much as I love my real name, it doesn't fully pertain to me as much as often. And that's totally fine. But I also think it's because I'm also healing from a lot of different things in the past that it's like, okay. This is what we are for now. And that's fine. I also used to be known for like as Enrique for a little bit because of Spanish classes. Because they're like, oh yeah, pick your Spanish name. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll pick this name. I randomly just had this bout of sleepiness. I'm like, why am I feeling tired? I should not be feeling tired. I think it's because I was staring at things for too long and the chemicals of the Sharpie and the glue are in my eyes now. Now they're like dry. Oh yeah, but definitely the detachment is also really nice because being known by a different name, like it helps me separate work and life. Because I never want those two to fuse together. Like, like the, like how they say you should not have your workplace where you sleep, and vice versa. Like that's what Katya did, the drag queen, you know, where she has like her own place, like workshop, and then she has like her own home, and like I understand that. Yeah, That's it. Although to be fair, I did like studying in my bed because I did growing up. I never had like a traditional desk, so most of my studying would just have to be in a bedroom or like at the dinner table. That's your desk right there. Mm. I think a lot of the trials for me for like adulthood has been mainly growing up because I had way too much baggage that locked me in a bit and actually finally getting therapy for that and learning ways to be healthy and processing it all because no one really teaches you how to be an adult. At least for me growing up, it was just like I did not learn that. You're just thrown into it and you gotta figure it out, and I'm like that's also true. There's some adults who just try to still be childish but don't know how to be childish in a sense. It's kind of like the saying of like, what is the meaning of life? When people ask, like, my god, there may be something that could help you, but there is no true meaning to life. It's whatever you, it's it's like everything everywhere all at once. If life has no meaning, you find your own meaning in life. No. I mean, sometimes suffering is out of your control, but there are times where people just choose to suffer. Alright, that one's done. We just let it sit and be perfect. Not perfect, but I will never understand that because I don't drink or do drugs, whether recreational or the hard ones. Like, one thing about me is like growing up, alcohol has, like, if I do ever drink, I'll just hit it with the vodka. Like, straight vodka is totally fine with me. Doesn't affect me. But either way, not for me. I'd rather just drink juice. I'd rather just be drunk off of sugar. And no one can stop me from being drunk off of sugar. Just saying. And plus, it's expensive. I could buy other things with that money. That's also my mindset for it. Like, I could be spending my money on better things. Like, I could be spending this money to go to an escape room, or I could spend it to buy this video game, or, you know, that's just my mindset on it. There are better things to buy. Like, I could buy all this toilet paper on sale. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's when people don't know how to moderate. Everything in moderation. Too much of anything's bad for you.